All right, guys, our next guest took the MMA world by storm when he walked into UFC 289 all the way from Australia, taking the fight on just 8 days' notice and beating number 10 ranked David Dvorak in his UFC debut. It's a real pleasure to welcome the eternal MMA flyweight champion, Astro Boy, Steve Erceg. Welcome to the show, man. Dude, I can't believe this. What a story.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's cool to be on here.
It's our pleasure, man, dude. What a crazy story, right? I know you obviously flew back to Perth just yesterday, so you must still be sort of buzzing. I gotta ask, dude, how does it feel to look at the official UFC rankings and see your name right next to big number 14?
Yeah, it's cool. I didn't know if they would put me in the rankings straight away, even though I did beat a number 10 ranked guy. So to be there after my first fights, yeah, it's pretty surreal.
Well, man, I know it was a long road to the UFC for you. Like, you tried to make it onto the Contender Series, but you had some visa issues, right? And that got in the way, and then you take this chance on yourself with 8 days' notice. Could I ask, how does it feel now that you kind of see the payoff and how it's played out?
Yeah, I think ultimately things happen for a reason, right? That gave me time to mature and all that sort of stuff. And yeah, 8 days' notice, 2 days' notice doesn't really bother me. I'm training all the time anyway, and to have a big opportunity, take it with both hands. And obviously, it worked out for the best this time.
How does this sort of compare to how you initially envisioned your UFC debut?
Obviously, it was a much bigger moment than I was expecting. Even when I was supposed to fight Clayton, the first 3 times really, it was going to be at the UFC Apex no matter what. So that was going to be an intimate little venue and not as many eyes on me. Whereas UFC 289, obviously very big, got to be surrounded by some really high level fighters and lots of the crowd, and yeah, it was really cool.
Well, obviously, because Eternal MMA, epic organization, you're a champion of. I'm curious, how different was it? Because you obviously fought at the Italian club back in the day, right? How different is it fighting at UFC 289 on such a massive stage compared to a venue like the Italian club?
Yes, it felt a lot bigger and better than the Italian club, obviously. Significantly more people in the venue, but I've had some fights at HBF Stadium where there's obviously not been as many people, but it's felt like a big event. So I think that's sort of really helped that feeling of being the new kid on the block or something. I don't know how to explain it. Just I didn't get as taken, swept away by the moment as I thought I might. And I think that's probably because of fighting on Eternal and that sort of thing.
Yeah, man. I mean, there was no octagon jitters that were at least noticeable. The commentators were just loving it. It was obviously a really, really fun fight. One thing I'm curious about, though, is have you spoken to your mum? Because you spoke about how she never wanted you to be a fighter. Now that you've made a UFC debut, what is she saying now?
I mean, I don't think any mum really wants you to go in there for a living. So
yeah.
She's always been very supportive and very proud of me and all that sort of stuff, and she makes that very clear. But I think she'll be happy on the day that I finally decide to call it a career and that she doesn't have to worry anymore.
So, man, you kind of glossed over it, and you're I'm always ready. 8 days notice wasn't really a factor, but let's get down to it. 8 days notice, flying from Perth all the way to Canada. That's a massive factor. And that's, by the way, that's a big risk, because we know fighters that take these risks. And if you go in there, you don't perform the way that you want, you might get another opportunity, but it could really, really affect a UFC career. So when you learned about this 8 days notice, the fact that it was going to be a top 10 ranked Dvorak, what was that conversation like? What did you and your team say? And were you hand up straight away, I'm doing it? Or was there any hesitancy? To talk us through that.
Yeah, so I think every time I get a call about a potential fight, there is that oh crap moment. I get super nervous and this is real all of a sudden. So I definitely had that, but I called Dad, called my coach Dave straight away, and we all sort of had the same opinion, which was we couldn't really ask for a better opportunity straight out of the gate. So I'm confident in my skills. Everybody knows how hard I work in the gym as well. So they believed I could, take the fight and win the fight. So we did. I mean, not really much more to it than that.
Well, you call up your dad, you go, hey, Dad, I'm going to be fighting you. So 289 in 8 days. It's a top 10 ranked guy. I'm just getting ready to get on my flight. What does he say? What's his first reaction?
Well, yeah, his first reaction was, "We're taking it, right?" And I said, "Yeah, we're taking it." So he's obviously a very big supporter of mine, obviously in the corner and everything like that. So sometimes he's there to put me in my place and tell me I suck, and sometimes he's there to tell me that I'm quite good and I can beat these people. So he played both sides.
Did your mum watch the fight?
Yeah, she did. She had a like a little party, so my girlfriend was there, and some of her friends and family, other family and stuff were there to watch the fight at the time.
What did she actually say to you
After the fight?
after the fight? Yeah.
I think she said I was proud of you and stuff like that, and she did very well and all that jazz. Nothing crazy.
Well, I got to go into this fight now. So you had a really impressive debut against a really tough opponent. You know, Dvorak is obviously a guy that's top 10 ranked. What kind of like moments stand out to you about that performance? Like any favorite moments from the fight? Obviously, a lot of people know you for your like submission ability and your wrestling, but you were really able to sort of show them some wrinkles in your striking game that a lot of people didn't really realize that you had.
Yeah, I've always known that I've been hard. Like, I know it doesn't look like it in some of my fights, but I'm not that easy to hit. I move a little bit unorthodox, and I get away with it a lot of the time. So, yeah, I guess it looks a bit ugly sometimes, but I can strike. I've beaten a lot of people who thought they were strikers, and a lot of my submissions have come because people have shot on me after I beat them in the striking. So I knew I could strike. It's just about showing other people in the world that I can. In all honesty, like it wasn't the cleanest striking. Dvorak did quite well, I thought. Mixed up the overhand and the leg kicks and stuff like that. I can do definitely better, and I've got to work on some stuff. But as far as like my favorite standout moments, I don't know. It was probably hearing DC mid-fight talk about the wrestling on the cage and stuff like that. Like just hearing him, hearing DC commentate my fight was quite cool.
Was that because you've always been a bit of a DC fan, like, or is it because you've always heard him commentating big fights for a while and sort of imagined what it would be like when you were in there?
No, I'm definitely a DC fan. I watch his fights a lot, and a lot of my wrestling I've tried to emulate some of the stuff he's done. So, yeah, definitely because I'm a fan.
Well, that's crazy. Like from emulating, I don't know if he's your idol, but like emulating DC to having DC commentate you and compliment your wrestling. That's crazy. And you were a pro wrestling fan back in the day, right?
Yeah, big Stone Cold Steve Austin fan.
Oh yeah, dude. Aren't we all? Give me a hell yeah. Also, I got to ask, how does it feel to beat a guy called The Undertaker?
Yeah, I was worried you're going to sort of come back to life after the fight or something.
Yeah.
With a chair backstage, but yeah, it was. Yeah, I saw a comment like Astro Boy versus The Undertaker has to be a good fight. So yeah, I tried to make sure that came to fruition. All
right, give us the real answer though. Favorite era of pro wrestling?
Oh, it's definitely the Stone Cold Steve Austin and the Rock era. Like, yeah, I don't think it's for me. It's not. That's when I grew up. Like the era I grew up in, so it wasn't close.
Yeah.
People talk about the Hulk Hogan and all that sort of stuff. So
yeah,
but yeah.
Well, dude, I was going to say, pretty cool to be a part of the company that's now owned by the same parent company as the WWE. Who knows where you're going to end up, man? WrestleMania on 8 days' notice, not out of the question after that performance.
You need to have an NWO style entrance. The whole the broadcast goes black and white. You got the lights, NWO music. How good would that be?
I think the glass shattering would be me.
Oh, yeah. That would be sick.
I like you standing in the rafters with a baseball bat and just sort of coming down out of nowhere. And 8 days notice, 8 minutes notice. Anyway, me and Cass will get you a Money in the Bank briefcase just in case you need it in Sydney. But what was your reaction to Dana White, man? He was super impressed with you, and he was talking about how great you did. Did you have a chance to chat with him after the fight? And I mean, that's pretty cool seeing the boss so big on you when you did the big debut.
Yeah, I did get a chance to talk to him backstage. I was more nervous for that than I was the fight, as it turned, fumbling up my words and stuff. And so I have to, next time if I get to talk to him again, I'll have to stop, take a breath, articulate, all that sort of stuff. But it is cool to hear him say like, yeah, you're a stud and all that cool stuff. Somebody obviously that I've looked at a long time, hoping he'd one day be my boss. And to see him in real life is weird. It's like it felt almost like VR or something.
Yeah, that's crazy though, right? Like you're going in there with another guy to punch on, and you're more nervous about meeting Dana White. That's crazy. I mean, I guess that says a lot about your confidence, right?
Yeah, I mean, I practice to punch people in the face every day. I don't practice to do a job interview every day.
Yeah.
Well, you did a pretty good job of that interview, man, because you got the extra 50 Gs. I was looking at Tapology, man, and like, I don't know how accurate it is, but on there, it's got career earnings, and in your entire career, you've earned about $50,000 according to that website. So how does it feel to be earning that just in bonuses in a single performance?
Yeah, it was cool. I thought because I didn't get the finish that I wouldn't get the bonus. So yeah, to hear that I got it obviously was very exciting. I think my family are excited for me as well, and I don't think over my whole career, I definitely haven't earned $50,000 fighting.
Wow.
Yeah, definitely a lot more than I'm used to.
That's nuts, man. What is I like your family's like, hey, Steve, there's a few debts from like when you were 10 years old that we'd like to settle now. Where do you think that's going to go towards the 50 Gs?
I'm probably towards my house and that sort of stuff, paying it off. And
smart, nice.
Come on, Steve.
Nothing.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here? The missus.
A lifetime supply of Dare Ice coffee.
300 tacos in a barrel.
Cut it down to 8 seconds notice with that Dare Ice coffee. I like it. It's a good plan. All right, so the eyes are now set on UFC 293 in Sydney, right? So I want to know, man, like obviously no announcements yet, still early days, but who would be the dream fight for you in that top 10?
I think I'd want to fight Matt Schnell.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, mostly he was supposed to fight Dvorak anyway, and a long time ago, or not that long ago, he had a fight, and he walked out to my walkout song. So I got to take that one back.
I like it. It. Super, super bad blood already. Do you feel like you're going to get like rushed pretty quickly through these rankings because you already ranked after your debut, beat a guy like Dvorak? Matt Schnell's no joke at all. Like I feel like you're going for the jugular straight away. Yeah,
I mean, I felt like. Not that I should have been here or anything. I don't sort of believe that like anybody deserved anything until like you've earned it, right? So, but I felt like I wanted to be here a little bit earlier and then work my way up. So I feel like I'm a couple of years behind. So I really want to win a title and then put on a good reign. So I feel like I got to get there in the next couple of years. So I definitely want to fight the best guys, and if the UFC are happy with that, that's what I want.
I know you were talking about in the post-fight how you want to be fighting in front of your home country in the UFC 293. How important would that be for you, man? Like I know you just did the debut, you were in Canada, it was a great moment, but could potentially getting a win in your home country be something that is even a bigger deal for you than what just happened last weekend? Yeah,
I mean, Canada is so far away for everybody to come down. And I know a lot of people want to travel and watch me fight live from my gym and my family and all that sort of stuff. So I'd love the opportunity to fight in front of them and just hear that crowd. Like the Perth crowd was unbelievable. And I'd just love to hear that roar as I walk out. It would be undescribable, I think.
Yeah, roar is war, baby. I can't imagine. I want to see if you get this Matt Schnell fight and who you get matched up with. Speaking of roaring, just quickly save yourself from roaring every time you're pulling your nose hairs out or pulling your ear hairs out. I'm guilty of it. You're guilty of it. We all are. They're bloody annoying, those pesky little hairs, and it's really crappy when you have like a bit of a facial hair, 5 o'clock shadow, a bit of a mustache, and then your nose hairs kind of join into it and you look like an absolute fool. Save yourself from that and make your life easy with Manscaped's Weed Whacker 2.0 nose and ear hair trimmer. Just like the previous one, but even better, baby, with the 7,000 RPM motor, with the improved steel blade system that upgrades the cutting performance from their first generation to better whack your weeds. Also, it comes with the skin-safe technology, which helps reduce nicks, snags, and tugs. It's also cordless, rechargeable, battery of up to 45 minutes of runtime. Also, the Weed Whacker 2.0 will be in all of Manscaped's tool sets, including the Platinum Package 4.0 and the Performance Package 4.0, the best value for money. So no matter what kit you get, you're always covered. Let's face it, unattractive those hairs, get rid of them from your face and from your life. And best of all, save 20% off with free shipping as well with the code submission at manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with code submission at manscaped.com. From below to up the top, get the best in grooming at Manscaped's shop. Isn't that right, Dan?
That's right, man. And by the way, when you want to save money, like I'm getting ready, I'm going to go to the Gold Coast, going to take the kid and the family to Movie World. And when I'm traveling, I got to secure my phone because I don't want all my stuff getting stolen. Thanks to NordVPN, you can have that threat protection when you connect to those pesky public Wi-Fis. We'll try to take all of your information and all the things off your phone. I'll also be able to enjoy my Netflix and subscriptions from all around the world to make sure that I could put on cartoons for all over the place for Archie because he'll be cracking it on the flight, cracking it in the car, and cracking it at Movie World in between lunches and places that we go to ensure that I can enjoy my Superman ride in peace. You guys can get NordVPN for your parenting or whatever else you need to do right now and trial it completely risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. It is the best VPN in the game. You guys get a huge discount plus 4 additional months for free. Just click the link in the description below or go to nordvpn.com/submission now, Cass.
Love it. Steve, as we let you go, man, I know you just sent us a massive message to the division with your performance over the past weekend, but as we let you go, and of course you want to fight on that UFC 293 card, any messages for anyone in the flyweight division?
Just that I think I'm the toughest guy in the division, and if you want to prove it, if you want to prove that you're tougher than me, you're going to have to fight me. So that's it.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold Steve Erceg said so. Follow the man at Steve Erceg on Instagram to follow his journey. Hopefully we see you over there in Sydney, man. We'd love to meet you in person. Can't wait to see what happens next. Thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you very much. Pleasure.